On this edition of the Koffers, when the rubber meets the road. Well, I thought I was done, but Playmates pulls me back in. Yes, this is another Playmates review. Possibly the last one for the time being, unless they announce some other stuff. But I found the needle in the haystack. The last of the wild variants, gimmicky, whatever you want to call it, of the Godzilla New Empire figures. Yes, it is Titan Evolution Godzilla. This is the crazy, rubbery skin Godzilla that has another Godzilla inside, kind of like a Russian doll. So, finally found one of these guys. I figured, you know what? I've done pretty much the entire line at this point. What is one more? So, we're going to deep dive into this bad boy and see what makes him tick. So, first things first, the obligated box. Much like all the other Godzilla Kong figures, it comes in a open card box. So, as you can see, right here shows you the gimmick. So there's Godzilla Evolved underneath there, shows you how the skin peels. And right here is a little QR code. Let me zoom in on that. That if you saw this thing in the store and you're like, I don't know if I want to spend $12 on this, gives you a sneak peek at what it is. Basically, it takes you to Playmates' website that shows off the commercial for the figure and how it works. Not exactly original, but sure, why not? You know what? Live in a day and age of smartphones. Get a little advertising in there. So, as we go around the box, got the usual Playmates goodness on there. By now, most of you have already seen the movie, so there's nothing really spoiling anything. But I'll say this, I think something was cut out of the movie because, this figure insinuates that Godzilla sheds his skin, and that is not what happened in the movie. So I am going to go out on a limb that we were denied some sweet Godzilla skin shedding. But that is neither here nor there. Let's pop this bad boy open and take a look at how this thing stacks up in comparison to the other figures. Alright, after a couple seconds with the trusty switchblade right here, got the straps off, which with the razor blade, with this thing, a little more delicate procedure, mostly because this thing is rubbery as hell. So let's get them out. There we go. Box goes bye-bye. So here's the figure right out the box, just as it came. Get a good look there for all of you. So it's the basic standard Godzilla. He's got his blue eyes. So if you saw the movie, this looks like right after he, juiced up on that nuclear facility in France. The spines, the whole thing, this is all rubber. This is 100% rubber. So I got a feeling this is going to be one of those figures that 20 years from now is going to be worth quite a bit amongst collectors, because this thing looks like it's going to rot in about 6 months. I've had DVDs that had the gimmicky kind of rubbery cases, most notably the Evil Dead one, and after about 4 years those things just start falling apart from drying out. So that is already one downside I can see with this figure. That said though, the texture is kind of cool. It gives Godzilla kind of this wonky kind of weird, almost, I'm a loss for words. It's odd though. The spines especially, they do resemble the 2014 Godzilla more than anything else. They don't have that 2019 onward leaf shape. Much more crystalline in texture. And I get it. That's, you got to work with it. So right here, this flap was open, and if I can get it in there, it looks like you just tuck it in under the belly. Gotta put the phone down on this one. So, better look. Here is the front flap. As you can see, there is an overlap of the texture. So that looks like it's just gonna tuck right under here, like so. It's not the cleanest. It's rubber. Let's see if I can get it all the way in there. Come on. Exciting stuff, I know. That's why you're watching. Get that to line up as much as I humanly can. And, yeah. This is already... If you were a kid trying to do this, this seems like it would be a giant pain in the ass. I'm a 40-year-old man trying to do this, and it's a giant pain in the ass. So you get it tucked in there. Let me see if we can get this tucked up in here. All right. And it's not the cleanest, but gives you an idea of Godzilla completely wrapped in the original skin. Yeah, that is rough. As you can see, there's cuts on the edges. Doesn't exactly want to line up 100%, but that's the awkward of just it's literally a skin over another figure. Holding in my hand, you can feel the figure inside. There's some weight to it. The skin actually gives it a little more heft. Like, this is much heavier than the other Playmates figures, and I can already tell the tail is not attached on the inside. So this thing is just wobbling around. I'm going to assume that's going to make it a pain in the butt putting this thing back together. So let's shed Godzilla. All right. So according to the box and the commercial, you simply pull the flap out, and then you peel back the rubbery skin to reveal Evolved Godzilla underneath. This is, in hindsight, this is a super meta toy. I mean, if you know your Godzilla, it's a guy in a rubber suit. So having Godzilla in a rubber suit, that is about as meta as you can get. I kind of appreciate the figure on that level alone. And this is also some sort of Edric nightmare right here, with just, when you do it like this, just two heads just on top of each other. So let's see if we can get the arms out. Oh man, yeah, this is oh, I don't want to tear it. So I'm not trying to do any cuts because I really want to get the whole thing in one. So it looks like you got to pull the arm back like this. Oh, it looks like, oh wow, okay. We got some breaking news. There is articulation to this Godzilla figure. I am wildly shocked. Look at that. There is a full arm joint. There's a ball joint. There's no ball joint on any of the 6-inch Godzilla Evolved figures. It's in the regular Playmates line. I'm assuming, yeah, because the gimmick of this thing. I mean, look how. Come on, look at this. Look how wacky this is. This is. I kind of love this toy. I'm kind of in love with this right now. This is gimmicky as hell. It's also a body horror nightmare. But this thing has just jumped up. Already seeing that there's articulation with the figure too. I would already say that if you're gonna buy a evolved Godzilla figure, this might be the way to go, because you're at least gonna get some articulation out of it. So let's pull this back. Yeah. Look at that. Look how terrible that is. It's like getting him out of a wetsuit. All right. Yeah, this is like if you've ever gone surfing or scuba diving, or even just getting out of the pool and you need to take off your trunks. This is what I can equate that to. This is such a man. This is something else. All right, almost there. Get the feet out. So I was like, yep, right there. Tail is not attached. Oh, there we go. And come on, almost there. Almost there. Of course, tail is attached right there. All right. It's a new one. I guess that is to pull the tail out inside of this goopy mess. Come on. And there we have it. And what? So look at that. Already a chunk came out. Yep. So let's see if we can get that in there right off the bat. All right. No. Absolutely no hairdryer needed. So there is the evolved Godzilla, and already, I mean, it's slightly better than the standard figure. So as I said, this thing has a articulated ball joint shoulder, which already is a step above the standard figure. This looks like it's pretty much a remold, but better quality. The sculpt looks a little bit. This looks slightly different. So the eyes are real janky. So the main row of the spikes are translucent. The rest are painted on with the brightest pink that they found. And the tail with the Stegosaurus spikes, yeah, that's a completely new mold. So this is a slightly altered mold. It's still got the janky feet though. So you can see there's no articulation in there. There's articulation in the feet. And pull this back. There you have it. That is the evolved Godzilla. I mean, it's roughly $5 more. So if you're getting something for yourself or for your kids, this is the better way to go. This is the better deal. This is a better quality figure for your kids. Mostly because Godzilla can do this. And just give out the hugs and pick up and throw things. This is the way to go, people. I would recommend, if you can find this figure, especially if you're shopping for your kids, get that. As for the skin, look at this. So, yep, just a big piece of rubber that actually stands on its own. It'll stand on its own. Look at that. That's wild. for, you know, the box boasts 2 figures in one, they're kind of not lying. And like I said, for $12, $13, kudos, because I kind of miss this kind of gimmicky stuff. This gimmick stuff was the style of the time when I was growing up as a kid. Toys had gimmicks, and that kind of made you want them even more. Like I said, this is just pure, unadulterated rubber. But kind of looks, it's kind of dopey looking, kind of fun. All right, let's try to put it back in real quick to see how difficult that's going to be. All right, so this time the tail is attached. Let me see if I can get this fully assembled back into this thing. Okay, sliding on like a tuxedo. If any of you have small children, I have nephews that are very small. This feels on par with trying to get them dressed in the morning. Yeah, it's like the thing. It's just trying to all consume it. Yeah, it's like the Blob screaming an ungodly death inside of this thing. Let me get this over the head. See, that'll work. Okay, this is maxed out. Oh, guys, I'm gonna if this ends up looking edited, that's because I, in the editing process, decided to skip this insane process and just cut to the basics. Arms actually no problem. Oh, good God. Definitely getting this thing off is a lot easier than getting it back on. The nooks and the crannies do not want to work with you. I'm trying not to... See, that's what I'm worried about. I'm popping it. Ooh, lordy. Okay, that looks a little better. Just gotta get that foot. I'm gonna take a pause so I can try to maybe get this lined back up so you don't have to sit here watch me struggle for a minute. All right, after another 8 minutes of struggling, I managed to get him back in as much as humanly possible, but as you can see, there's definitely some stretching. He's not in there the same way that I pulled him out of the box. So yeah, getting him out, no problem. Getting him back in, my God, that was a bit of a struggle. I mean, you can see right here, the foot didn't exactly line up, and the toe to the main figure is kind of popping out, and I'm still trying to adjust. There are some wrinkles. The tail actually went back in pretty fine. Had to pull and yank to get it to not look like it was being stretched out and torn. So downside to this figure, especially if you have kids, they're going to tear this up. There's absolutely no way this thing is going to make it out unscathed. Because like I said, once it's out, it feels like that. Once that figure's out, it's out. I'm still trying to get the hands still look kind of puffy, and I mean, he looks bulkier once you get him out and once you get him back in. I mean, he's definitely bulked up a bit. So overall, cool idea, great once you open it, but like soda, you leave it out too long and the fizz goes away, and then you're wondering, why do I have this? So overall, the Evolved Godzilla is a wacky figure. I applaud Playmates on trying new ideas, but ooh yeah, if you got kids, this thing's gonna get destroyed. Upside is there's actually a very good Evolved Godzilla toy inside this horrific blob-like skin that your kids will enjoy for years to come. and it's actually the best of the best articulated 6-inch figure in the entire line. So I would recommend the toy just based on that. If you're just a hardcore collector and you gotta have everything, sure. But I mean, it's $12. So it's not a bank breaker. Is kind of cool and unique. But like I said, I have no faith in this skin holding up in about 5 years. Unless you keep it in a climate controlled environment, this thing's going to crumble and dry out and the figure's just going to be left. So I would say if you're looking for long-term investments, buy a couple of these, put them in a freezer somewhere, or put them at least in like a humidor, and in like 10 years come back, sell them to the kids that are now adults that got their own money, because this thing's gonna be rare to find in any sort of working condition. There you go. And that brings us to the end of this review. Remember, if you like what you see, we do have a show. It is called the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com, where you can download our main show along with our sister show, Common Kaisers. It's at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. And if you don't like downloading, we are also on all of your favorite streaming sites, including Spotify, Apple, and wherever else you might find finer podcasts. We're also on social media. Find us on X at The Kaiju Kingdom, Instagram at The Kaiju Kingdom, and Facebook.com/The Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. Feel free to comment. That's where we post all the breaking news and all the fun stuff. So yeah, come by and say hi. And that'll do it for this edition of the Koffers. Thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you next time.